Hello, Mr. Mander, or whoever is watching this, and welcome to Ali's Computer Science Guides. And today we're going to be going over network topologies. So, as you can see around me, here we have 4 different types of topologies. And let's go over them right now. So, our first one is the star topology. So, as you can see, all of these computers over here are connected to the central hub or switch by these cables, right? And so first let's talk about a hub quickly and switch. So a hub, as you can see, the data enters and is sent to all the other connected devices to the hub. So we'd like to call this a dumb device. Really bad. Okay, but a switch would actually is much smarter, and in fact, let's say this computer here wanted to send data here. This switch would look at the IP addresses, right? And it would only send it to this certain device. So again, the switch would only send the data to a certain device. Okay. So let's talk about the disadvantages now. So with this topology, first of all, since these devices aren't connected with each other, like by cables, they aren't here, or something like say, that means there's going to be a lesser chance of data collisions and packet loss, as the data isn't, let's say, like this device isn't sending data into that device while that's sending data, so they don't like collide. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. So that's one advantage. Another advantage is that, let's say I break one of these cables here by accident. No, let's go on. These devices here can function normally. 1 second. Yeah, with no harm done to them, as if this was never here in the first place. But with all greatness comes some disadvantages, and the main disadvantage is that this is hella expensive. Like, you have to pay for a hub and switch, and then like a bunch of cables, as all these are separate connections. Like, what is that? Like, I ain't got that type of cash. Like other types of topologies, like the bus topology over there, is way cheaper. Also, if I were to break this hub or switch by accident, let's say, then all of these wouldn't be able to work, because as you can see, these cables aren't actually connected to each other. Oh no. That means if I were to break this, then none of these would be able to connect with each other or communicate. Okay, that's the star topology done right now. Now let's move on to the mesh topology over here. So this is a bit confusing, so I use carpets to show the connections. But as you can see, like all of these computers are connected with one another. So look, this computer is connected with that one there, and that one there. You can see all the connections. So let's look at the obvious right now. This is a lot of cables, right? So this is probably going to be expensive, and it is expensive because of the sheer amount of cables required to set this up, and not only to set this up, but to maintain this as well, because you have to maintain all these cables, because you know, when you have a lot of cables, you have to look over them and like worry about cable management. But there are some advantages with this. Is that, let's look at this again. If I were to break one of these cables here, then all of these would be able to work fine, because of the way that it's designed by the cabling. As in, like, all of these are connected with each other. They don't have to worry about that one there, because that's only between these two computers, right? And then you could just go and fix this up, and it would be with this, and everything would be good as new. Alright, also, since there isn't one central cable which all the data is flowing through, and they're all going separately, there's a lesser chance of data collisions again. As all of them are connected separately. Also, what's it called? Also, this type of topology can handle lots of network traffic, as all of these can send data at the same time. See, this one can send it here while that one is sending there, and this one is sending here, and that one is sending here. You see, all of them are doing their thing. you know, they're all vibing together, and everything is fine. Also, you can add more computers here. Like, let's say I build this computer here, and I want to connect it up. Boom, I can connect it up. I just have to finish connecting it to all of the other ones you see there or something, I don't know. But I just have to connect all of them together, and all of these will be able to work fine while I'm doing that. I don't have to break any cables, I don't have to mess with that. They're all Gucci. But again, the main drawback is that this is very expensive. Look at the amount of cables here, well, that's expensive. Alright, that's the mesh topology done. Now on to the bus topology, which is right here. So as you can see, there's two terminators here. That's meant to say terminator. And there's backbone. There's a backbone connection here running through it, and there's computers connected to it. So in this example, this red computer here is sending the data. Is transmitting. See, all the data is going from there and is coming around everywhere else. Okay. So let's talk about the advantages first. First of all, this is relatively cheap compared to the other topologies, like that one there, and that one there, right? Because you don't have to pay for any special hardware besides a terminator, of course. And also the cables aren't that big, as you see. They're just like short cables here connected to the backbone, right? But there are a few disadvantages. Not a few. There's a lot of actually disadvantages. So first off is security. So let's say this computer here wanted to send data to this computer here. Let's say it was like super confidential, okay, like what's inside area 51. Then it would enter here, and no, look, it's gone everywhere else. So not only does this blue computer know what's inside area 51, so do all of these other computers. And then someone's gonna leak it to the news, and boom, look what you know. Area 51 is no longer a secret. Alright. Also, let's say this computer was sending information, but one of these broke. Alright, now you may wonder what was so special about the terminator. Well, you see, if the terminator is gone, then there will be something called data collisions, where the data bounces back because it never actually hit an end. It just bounces back inside and then collides with the other data coming. So imagine this computer sending information, hits here, and comes back and hits the same information that another computer sent. Boom, now that information is useless because they just hit each other. Alright? So yeah, there's a higher chance of data collisions and packet loss with this type of topology than the other topologies. Yeah, but if you don't care about data security or packet loss, then this is a very cheap type of topology, and in some cases can be a bit quick, and also is very modular. So if I wanted to add more computers, I could just add them here, set them up, you know, and all of this would be fine. It's very modular, so it's easy to add new computers. You just have to connect it to the backbone. And yeah, that's it for the bus topology. Now on to the ring topology. Okay, so as you can see here, all the computers are connected to two other computers, so they're not connected to one of them there, and the data flows in one direction. So this type of topology actually uses a system called a token system. A token system. So that means, let's say this computer here wanted to send data to that computer there. It would send a token, right? And let's say, look, the data is going. Oh, it hits this computer. Now this computer has a piece of hardware. Let's say it's a scope pressure plate, right? And it would see, like, it would look at the token, and it would recognize if the token was designated for it, or if it wasn't. If it wasn't, it would just continue to send the data across until another computer recognizes it. If it is, then it shares the information with the device. Yeah. So, as you can see, this type of system is very fast. It's speedy, boy. Right, so this is actually one of the quickest topologies. But let's say this computer here wants to send data to that computer. In some cases, some instances, it can be a bit slower than, let's say, the star topology there. because you know it goes around instead of going just directly to it, but it's still very quick. Okay. Also, a network server isn't required to manage all these connectivities, so it's easier to set up. But there are some disadvantages. If one of these cables were to break, you see, now look, let's say this computer wanted to send data to, let's break that there. So this computer wants to send data to here. Yeah, it's not going to get there anymore because it's broken. Or like this one, let's say this one to that one there. It only flows in one direction, so it flows there, it can't even go there. It can't go back because that's not how it's set up. Yeah. So the entire network would be impacted if one workstation failed or the cables broke. Like, or that one failed there, then it won't be able to pass a token anymore, etc. Also, this type of hardware here for the token system is actually pretty expensive, and can make this type of system be pretty expensive. It's not, the cabling is it won't be as expensive as mesh cabling, but the hardware itself for this token system would be pretty expensive. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty speedy. It is very good. It's good topology if you have hella cache and you want really high speeds, and also very little packet loss, because you see, since it's only flowing in one direction, it's not going to come back and hit itself, so it's just going to keep going around, and it's not going to worry about hitting any packets behind it. So yeah, that is a network topologies, 4 different types. You may also come across a hybrid, which is basically like, you see this bus topology, instead of having a device, it would have a hub/switch network connected as each device. So let's say I would have like 4 computers here, right? So instead of one computer, this would be 4 connected by the hub or whatever type. Let's say if this was like a hybrid star and bus, there would be the hub here in the middle, and then the hub would connect to the bus here, bus topology here. So this can like allow for way more connections. But yeah, that's very cool, and that is all the topologies. And also, one last thing before I forget, here is the redstone if you want to see. It is fairly simple. So let's look at this one here, the star. So yeah, you see there is a redstone clock over here. This creates a pulse. The pulse comes in and goes through all the repeaters. So this is 1 tick, that's 2, 3, 4. And then this tick is just a delay, and it gives you a sense that the data is being transferred. Yeah, and then there might be different layers for how deep it goes, like here. Torches activate the things, so when the pulse hits this, it like turns on or off. And it's just constant pulse going on in the redstone clock. And then the torches here just let it go off. But that is it for the most part. Thank you, and have an amazing day.